All right, we are in.
We are here. We're
We're
here.
here.
We're here. We're here. NORBEEZ is looking in the mirror.
We're here.
Can they see you?
I just want the live chat, if anything, confirmed that they can actually hear us.
Can you hear us? Please put a thumbs up
Let's
or
get that thumbs up that you guys
or
can hear
an
us.
emoji. Put whatever emoji you want to put.
Whatever you want.
Appreciate you.
Everything goes. Anything goes today.
My apologies that we're late.
Yep.
Let's see. My shit's not updating right now. Yeah.
It takes about a 20-second lag for us to like hear.
NORBEEZ cam is working.
Oh,
They
hey,
said, all right, audio's
Now-
good. Thank you.
audio's good.
Ani64. Cool. Sam Hain Girl. Rising Warrior. Appreciate you. Machi. How do you say that word right there? Pidote, right? What's up, homie? Rising Warrior. Appreciate you. Alex Hernandez. Brad Pitbull. That's right. Hey, I appreciate all you guys. Phil Lerma. Chago. Rodriguez. El Hermano. Carlos. Felix. Brad Pitbull again. Adrian. Irie Eyes? Is it Irie Eyes? Jose Lara. That's right. That's Hey, they got that little jaguar? Is that a jaguar?
Yeah, that. Oh, cool.
Where in the heck? Where do you get a jaguar
That's an
emoji? Oh man, that's dope right there. Hey, homie, what kind? How did you get that jaguar emoji? That is badass right there. I'm gonna look for maybe. Tuning in tonight and giving me your time. Appreciate that. And I hope you guys had a good day so far, whether you were at work, with the fam bam, day off, don't have a job, at the GR office, whatever you were doing, I appreciate it. But yeah, we're gonna get into some hot topics tonight. Damn, I'm echoing, homie.
You just heard that, right?
I'm hearing everything echo. Is it from your earphones? Maybe. I think it's from your earphones, and your earphones are hitting your mic. Probably.
No.
No? All right. Cool. So, what should we get into first, Norbs?
I think first let me.
Or how was your day? Or you want to do some checks?
You know what? It was quite a busy day today.
What'd you do?
Just work. I actually had to do a lot of errands today, so which is not only was marvelous. One of the reasons why we didn't take we didn't go on time, but
It's my fault. I was chatting.
It was also my fault because I did come late also. So I would definitely take my part in that blame.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's cool, man. We're here. Thankfully, we made it. There's a lot of things to talk about right now.
A lot of things to talk about tonight.
So, you want to go into the community post?
Sure. So my apologies first for I was tatting. My client was a little bit late. I tatted. You ever hear some way out names, NORBEEZ?
Wait.
Like somebody with a way out name or the spelling's like just off. Anything.
The only name I could think of is I don't know, something like Tiffany.
Tiffany. Okay, Tiffany. All right. Yeah. You ever heard of the name Jathan?
What?
Jathan.
No.
You never heard of the name Jathan?
Jathan.
Jathan. Yeah, not Jason, but Jathan.
Is that like Jaden, but with a
like
TH?
Jaden, but Jathan.
Jathan.
You ever heard about that?
No.
No. All right, so I was chatting. Oh, look at Jonathan.
Hey,
right?
Jonathan.
You could be correct pronunciation could probably be Jonathan, maybe, right? But I'm saying that to say this, right? So I was chatting a name Jathan. Yeah, they said the name was Jathan.
That's a trip.
So I chatted the name Jathan, right? And I chatted and I was finished with it.
Yeah.
And they were looking at it and they said that I spelled it wrong.
Oh,
like,
no.
how did I spell it wrong? And they go, "Are you serious?"
I was really starting to believe
Jathan, are you serious?
I was like, damn.
Are you serious? Nah, I'm just playing. I'm messing. That was a joke. Where's my drum? Where's my drum set, homie?
Let me see. There you go.
All right, there you go. All right, go for it.
I got it on the first one.
Go. Let's get into some of the the community.
All right, so let's go with the earliest ones because the early bird gets the worm.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so first one was from Midnighter 1212. Do you still go to the swap meet?
Oh, I think I answered that in the comment section, of course.
All right, let's see. Okay, that's not a question. Brad Pitbull says, "Is it true that the IE foods are homeschooled by pigeons?"
Man, I don't know, man. I think I answered his in the comment too when I got to it. But yeah, not sure. I don't know what they're raised by. I know some down ass IE foods. I know IE foods and LA foods go at it, but it's that shit's pretty funny though. Go for it. Go for it.
Let's see. Chris from Arizona says, "What up, Marvelous? My question is, when you gonna pick a game? When are you gonna pick up game about Tamachuan?"
Oh yeah, that was a cultura question.
Oh, okay. Let's see. We'll get to that, I guess, eventually. Let's see. I got a question, bro. This is from Herman Paisa. What are some ways a dad can spend time with his children without spending a lot of money? I have a 3-year-old daughter. Also, what are some ways to interact with your daughter so she always trusts you for emotional support? I always want my daughter to confide in me. Appreciate it, man.
Man, your kids, bro, without spending money, I have a lot of kids. So I've always had to worry about, spending a lot of money on them. But you know what? My problem personally is I'm not good with money. I'll spend my money before I even make it, if that makes any sense. Like for instance, if I know how much I'm gonna make with a tattoo, I already have it in my mind what I'm gonna spend it on, and that's super bad for me to do. I'll spend money till I'm empty on gas, I'm broke, and it's just all bad. It's all bad. Just because I want to see my kids smile, I want them to be happy. But what it took me a long time to learn, and I'm ignorant of it, is that you don't have to spend money to make your kids happy. The time and the functions that you're taking your kids to, such as if you know how to fish, you could take them fishing. My kids used to love to go hiking, so that was something that we can do, the outdoors. They feel like they're going on an adventure. And kids have so much energy. They like to climb rocks and all this and that, and feel like they're in the jungle or whatever, and you're gonna run across bears. We ran across bears. You're gonna run across snakes and different lizards and birds and stuff like that. So that's a good thing without you having to spend money. Another thing is say it's and it's hard to say too, because if you're spending the weekend with your kids, right, obviously you have to buy food for them, but you don't always have to take them out to eat. Like, you could buy meal prep. You could cook with them, show them how to cook. If you have multiple kids, you could teach your daughters how to cook something or make something, and your boys how to do something else, and show them how to work together as a team, so they know how to function as a team, not by themselves, But if you only have like one kid, man, the best quality time is I feel just talking to them. I can't say infant wise, but if they get like around 3 or 4 years old and they start to walk or whatever, take them on little adventures, take them on a bus ride, show them the bus, take them on the subway. I know it doesn't sound like a good thing to do, because there's always, transients and all that stuff like that, but it is an adventure for them. It is an adventure for them. I remember going on the bus when I was like 4 or 5 years old and going all over downtown, walking through Skid Row with my grandma's friend. He's a family friend, Smiley, an OG, and he used to take me on the buses and show me all kinds of like walking down Skid Row, homie. But I remember that shit.
I wouldn't recommend that right now.
I know I wouldn't recommend that right now. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like show them the subway system, show them the buildings downtown, show them landmarks, in your city, and show them how to cook. Shit, a lot of kids don't know how to cook until they're in their 20s, and especially girls these days don't know how to cook. A lot of them, and that's sad. I know a lot of people my age, they learned how to cook when they were teenagers and even younger. And it's different. It's a whole different. And we're gonna touch on that today. The different generations and the cycle of dressing. And just how times have really changed these days.
No, you brought up good point. Those are a lot of good places. I mean, One places that some places I could suggest is the local park. Go to a park and hang out with them there. Because especially now, a lot of these parks they have like those fitness equipment. I mean, it's a great place to get them going and teach them how to use those things.
Teach them how to work out. Yeah, your
teach 'em how
boys,
to work
even
out.
your daughters, teach them how to work out. Shit, take them jogging. Show them, build up their stamina.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And then there's a lot of museums that the county pays for so that you could take your kids for free.
yeah.
I mean, you could take the metro, like Marvelous said, or the bus. Take them to the California Science Center. Take them to the Chicano Museum over there in Placita Olvera that is only based on Chicano culture in LA. It's a pretty cool museum. They got the little model thingies. They like it shows they built like the whole city in this model inside that place.
Wow.
You could see all of LA and in the model or that they have over there. But specifically, it's historical. Like you see a lot of things that Chicanos went through here.
Yeah.
Which that's a great place. It's free. Go there.
And a lot of places they let you in free with your kids with EBT. A lot of people don't know about that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they let you in for free, bro.
Because I know the Natural History Museum they charge you there. But maybe that will you could do that also. That's a cool place to go. You could go there. They have a lot of stuff, and I mean, there's a lot of free museums you could go to and parks. So that would be a great place.
Simón que sí.
Aside from that, let's see. As far as getting their confidence, always talk to them, right?
Yeah,
just keep
talk to
talking
them.
to them. Don't stop.
Don't give them the
about
short
it.
answer. Don't give them the short answer.
I mean, I think sugarcoating things, we shouldn't do that anymore.
You know what's hard though, bro, is I don't know what he's going through personally, but it's hard when you have another parent and you're trying to co-parent and that person just doesn't see eye to eye, or maybe they have different religious views, and that shit sucks.
Well, I mean, for me, I feel like communication, a lot of communication adds to it. Like all of us have to keep in mind, all these kids are dumb. They're dumb as
Hey.
No, and I say that because you got to realize we're not born with any of this social education. We don't know any of these things.
Don't know.
That's why it's up to us to teach our kids.
Yeah, for real.
What they need to learn and what they should learn. I mean, we can't leave it up to the schools. That's where we go wrong. We leave it up to the schools to raise our kids. But in this day and age, now that we're more connected with our own roots and our cultures, it's better that we teach them our stuff as much as they learn at school. We got to teach them just as much, especially with historical stuff and especially with diets now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one thing that schools are not going to do.
Damn, NORBEEZ, okay. Is this the NORBEEZ show?
Hey.
Damn, homie. Okay. Okay, NORBEEZ taking over. NORBEEZ Mindz.
I just want to put that out there.
It's going to be NORBEEZ Mindz.
We got government username saying, let's see, are the raza in the so-called prison genre really trying to help our people make better choices? Or is it just a platform for them to stroke their egos and tell war stories?
Wow. Ooh. That is a great question. You know what? I said it before. I think I touched on it in either last podcast or podcast before that one. Yeah. Every podcast starts off humble, whether it be, I don't even want to name all of them, but you guys know the top prison channels right now. And they were humble dudes,
Word.
But then you become a content creator, and then you're just reacting to everything to make content and get that check, and the revenue you start to see the revenue come in, and it's a lot of money. I'm not gonna lie to you. With the more content you make, or the more reactions and the more drama you bring or react to on YouTube, that's gonna get you a fat check, as opposed to teaching you something, right? So I believe that they started off with good intentions to teach people, like, hey, you don't want to do this in prison. You don't want to do this in jail. This is what you shouldn't do. But then it comes out and let me say one more thing. They all of them have the habit. There's not one that does not have the habit that says, I'm not saying this to glorify anything. The minute you speak on something, whether positive or negative, it is glorification. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're speaking that into existence. We talk about frequency and energy every episode almost. And the minute you speak on something or touch on something like that, you're turning a young mind onto it, right? And I'm gonna use myself as an example. Back in the days, we had a school made for our barrio, Maravilla. It was called Sea Maravilla, Soledad Enrichment Action, right? And it was only for our neighborhood because our neighborhood had gotten green lighted, and we couldn't attend certain high schools because it was on cracking on site. So we had this school. We had a lot of veteranos that would come in from other barrios, Hazard, White Fans, Barrio Nuevo, you know, and they would come and speak to us. Even our own homies from Eloyo, Ford, Maravilla, they would come and speak to us and try to tell us, hey, mijo, you don't want to do this. You know, you don't want to end up like me, and whoop-de-whoop. And they're showing up in their nice bombs and stuff like that. And they're telling us their war stories and where they got stabbed at. And this is where I got shot. And I was right here at the liquor store. And me and the homies, whoop-de-whoop. And we're right there at youngsters, you know, sitting at our desk, and we're listening to all these vatos, and we're like, all right, yeah, okay. But they were actually, yeah, we don't want to go to jail. We don't. But you did want to go to jail. You did want just to say that you went there, just to have that story. You know, back then you had to earn your name. You couldn't pick a name like, oh, they're going to call me this and they're going to call me that. Like, no, your name is given to you, you know? Or if you took a name from another vato that had the same name, you had to get down with that dude for that name. You know, you can't just say, oh, they're going to call me Little Boxer, and you don't know how to fight. Like, no, they called him Boxer for a reason. Or they called him whatever, Sneaky for a reason. The vato was a sneaky vato or whatever, you know what I mean? So now times have changed. You know, we were actually getting turned on to gang life and gang warfare without us even knowing it. You know, and today, the prison genre, I was on the level 1 yard, I was on the level 4 yard, and I worked for so-and-so, and I used to do this, and I made this money, and I brought these cell phones in, and I had this weed line, and they're all glorifying the shit. They're glorifying it. They want you to know what they've done and who they talk to. Even you know, there's active vatos that have YouTubes, and there's dropout vatos that have YouTubes, or not. I shouldn't say dropout. But vatos that aren't in good standings. There's differences to these terms and definitions that you're using, okay? A dropout isn't a person not in good standings. In similar ways it is, but it's not. You know, they're different meanings. Just like the sureño is not a Southsider. They're different things. They're two different things. People don't know the differences. You know what I mean? So they're getting turned on. They're getting turned on to this shit. And they won't even, like, a lot of the vatos that aren't in good standings, and they have these big ass platforms, and they're saying, and they're getting crazy with the vatos in the comment section, and they're saying, you know, oh, well, who did you work for? And I know that vato personally. Like, who gives a fuck? No, it doesn't even matter who you knew or who you know now. It doesn't even matter, because you're not supposed to be living that life.
Yeah,
you can't step foot in your barrio.
Yeah.
Like you have to watch your back even more, because your face is plastered all over this YouTube channel, and you're right here talking about your ego.
Fact.
You're talking about who you used to work for, the stabbings that you did, even the murders that you did life for or time for or whatever. And but yeah, I'm out here and I got a YouTube channel. So what are you telling that youngster right there? That he can do it too, and he can make it out of prison too. You're not telling him to not do it. You're glorifying it, and you're telling him, hey, you can make it too, and have a YouTube channel and make a name for yourself. You know, and these youngsters get themselves wrapped up in this shit, and they go get busted, or they go do certain shit, get involved in politics or whatever, and they end up getting their life taken, or they end up whether they're doing life, that's your life taken. If you're gonna do life, your life is gone, homie.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have no more hyenas out here. You're going to be looking at butt cheeks all day. Excuse my language. You know, and you're going to be hearing about other vatos. Everybody, just imagine this. Imagine this. You're right here and you're trying to prove yourself to another homie. I'm going to go prove myself to NORBEEZ. NORBEEZ is my older homie. And I'm going to go prove myself to you, because I want to make my name. Hey, NORBEEZ, check this out, homie. I'm going to go put in work on these vatos tonight. Bam. And I go do this jale. I get busted because I didn't plan anything out. I went with somebody else that maybe ratted on me, or I got caught because I didn't scope out the area before that. And now I'm busted. I'm going to do life now, right? Now what do I got? Are you going to be writing to me? every day?
Nope.
Am I ever going to see a Jaina every day?
Nope.
I'm not. Am I ever going to have King Taco every day?
Nope.
And then for what? Now the enemies that I busted on, that I want to go put work in, now I got to get along with those vatos now and then. They're my Sallys now. We're making spreads together, doing burpees together, all that. For what? For what? Because I wanted to show you what a man I was. I wanted to show you, why do I have to show you anything?
Man.
Why do you have to show me anything? And what is the definition of a man? Is it proving yourself to be a gang member?
That's crazy.
What is it?
Yeah, man.
A sureño or norteño? Is that what being a man is? Because most of the vatos in your barrio, once you become in the higher echelon, and then that means the hierarchy, you're not going to be liked. You're going to be disliked. Every real gang member that is gang banging, is doing the real shit out there, is disliked. I'm going to use Big U for an example.
Yeah.
Everybody talking all this masa about him.
Yeah.
He did this and he was extorting this person and he had that rapper allegedly killed and whoop-de-whoop.
Yeah.
All this and that. What's wrong with that? You were just glorifying the dude. You're using him as Debo.
Yeah.
Debo played him.
Yeah.
And Friday.
Yeah.
He used him as an example. And now this guy's in the bad because he did this and that. That's what gangsters do. You glorified it and you hated it at the same time.
Yeah.
We glorify this and we hate it at the same time. It's ridiculous, homie.
It is, man. It really is. And it's crazy because you see a lot of podcasters doing the same thing.
Yeah.
They're going after, they're trying to prove themselves to these guys that
on camera.
Yeah.
On camera.
To guys that probably don't put in any work, that probably don't really represent any group to say, but they believe these guys because they have stories.
Yeah.
And then they have other fake people that would corroborate
yeah.
their story and make it.
Or just because they have a fan that likes them. I tell people that watch me and they'll say, hey, I'm a fan of yours, Marvelous or whatever. Don't be a fan of me. I'm nobody to be a fan of. Nobody. I did a lot of dirty shit, dumb shit. I hurt people. That's not nothing to fucking. I'm an idiot for that shit.
Yeah.
I'm dumb. Should have never did it. Now karma comes back to me. You know, it's going to come back to them too.
It is.
So why should I sit here and tell you about, everybody wants to hear war stories about the green light era and what happened and how we went at it with certain people and all these stories with the Mongols and different stories. And I could tell so many stories, NORBEEZ, that will go viral. And I'm not going to do it because it's going to turn some youngster on. He's going to fucking go do this and that. And this is what I got to do. Marvelous said this one time.
Yeah.
And for what? For what?
Well, that's the thing too. And then a lot of these youngsters that they believe a lot of these rappers that they talk about that stuff and then they glorify in their music.
Yeah.
And then they want to be like them. And then reality hits them and they realize, oh, wait a minute, these guys don't do that stuff.
They're crying. No cholo. Let me tell you something real quick. In the county or in prison or wherever, you know, these men that are all tatted up or whatever, there comes a point in time where they're alone by themselves, whether they're on the yard or whether they're in their cell or wherever. If they're going to go to court or they're taking a transport to court to wherever, there comes a point in time where they cry and they think about what they should have did or what they could have done. They're missing their girls, their moms, all their family members are dying. They're thinking about this stretch that they got to do. How many years? Imagine if they told you, NORBEEZ, right now, you got 15 years. What are you going to think about the next? The only thing you're thinking about is survival.
Yeah.
Survival. You heard all your family around you, they're going to die off. Times are going to change. Your Jaina, you think she's going to be there for you that whole time? Nah. You're going to meet another torta or whatever that's going to be put money in your books. The letters are going to stop coming. You know, you're going to have to find a new Jaina, a new ride or die that's going to be there. She ain't going to be all that good looking. You know, more than likely, she's not. You know, and you're gonna look for a love letter, a pen pal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you're gonna have to worry about Vatos looking at you.
That's the reality.
If you're young, you know, Vatos looking at you that got all day. They don't got nothing to lose. And you better hope that one of them don't end up being your Sally, a lifer, because he don't got nothing to lose. You know. And if he gets that huila that you gotta go, then you're gonna go. You're gonna go. You better have stamina because there's nowhere to run. You're not gonna be able to run. Your cell's locked. The door's locked. You can't call man down. The whole tira's gonna be listening to you. You know, you better make sure that you have people putting money in your books because your Sally's gonna be, that's your wife or your husband. Whatever their family members or hyenas are giving them, they're gonna share with you. They gotta take care of you. So now you gotta make sure you got money in your books. People don't think about all that shit.
No.
They don't think about that. They just, I was over here in Centinela and I did time in Soledad, or I was in the LA County jail and I was fighting the whoop-de-whoop. Like, shut the fuck up. Just shut up. You sound dumb. And they think they're fighting a big old war. They think they're fighting a big old war in there. Raza versus raza. They think that's the war. They think they're fighting for something.
Yeah.
And it's not. The war's out here. We're losing all our righteous hitters at a very young age.
Yeah.
That could be so productive out here in their prime.
Yeah.
In their prime.
That's true.
The prison system, how young are they? 17, 18, 19, in their 20s. All those years are gone now.
Well, I mean, not only that, but you heard about that story about that juvenile jail where the security were making the
gladiator fights.
Yeah,
that wasn't the YA.
Yeah,
they were doing that a lot.
And
they were doing that a lot.
But that goes to show you that not even the county gives a fuck what happens to them, because they
don't. They're just a number. They get paid to occupy that cell.
Yeah,
they don't tell you that. Yeah. They get paid.
They do.
But go for it, bro.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. My bad if my answers are long-winded.
All right. Shout out to government username for that one. Okay, here. Jesse Martinez. This is one of the topics that we probably want to get into. Jesse Martinez says, is the world getting closer to the end now that the Pope has died?
Well, prophecy, and we'll just say their prophecy, right? Because these are things that they come up with.
Yeah.
Their prophecy is that this will be the last Pope, right?
Yeah.
It's not any scripture prophecy. Their prophecy is that this is going to be the last Pope. There's one more spot, and that's supposedly supposed to be equivalent to the Antichrist. I don't want to say that it is the Antichrist because, who knows what to believe about them. Yeah. But what we do know for sure is that our dates are off.
Yeah.
So you can't specifically say what time period that we are in because there's a big gap that's missing.
Yeah.
They lie to us about a lot of stuff. The Grand Canyon. They lie about that. That's a whole quarry site, that they called Egypt. Yeah. The names have been changed in the maps. But I do believe something is supposed to happen. The sacrifice of the sacrifice and the new building of the new temple. Yeah. What they're calling the New Jerusalem over there. But I do believe that sacrifice and new temple will be over here in secret. I do believe that.
Honestly, I believe the real sacrifice are the people in Gaza.
Not us.
I mean, by that I mean I think they're intentionally,
You mean Palestine?
They're leading all those people for their blood.
Well, they want people to believe that they're. What do you mean? Tell me what you're talking about.
As far as the bombings that have been happening recently in their camps and their homes from the.
Oh no, but we're talking about the real sacrifice.
Like, no. I'm saying that for me, I see that as a one type of sacrificing.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. But that's like Palestine. That's always been Palestine, So those people have every right to fight for their country, bro, or their state, and they should put up a bigger fight. It sucks.
Yeah. The bad part is that they got the bigger weapons. I mean, that's what happened with us out here. They had rifles when the Spanish came. They had rifles when the English came. They had rifles. There's only so much you could do with bow and arrows. and spears.
Well, you know who's attacked the United States, and the United States has gone to war with everybody that has attacked them, right?
Yeah.
Everybody. You know, Vietnam, you got Japan, you got Adolf Hitler.
Yeah.
You know, but what is one country that attacked the United States and America didn't do nothing about it?
Well, Israel.
Yeah.
They bombed the U.S. ship.
Yeah, there you go. So you know about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, see? And they never done nothing, bro. Why? They fund everything.
Yeah.
They use our soldiers.
They actually killed soldiers in that boat.
There you go.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Crazy.
And they won't do nothing.
That's crazy. That is crazy how much power a group organization can have.
And that's crazy because they don't have power though. They don't. It's all psychological, bro. Just like when they called you a minority and you believed it.
Yeah.
Or we believed it, right?
Yeah.
That wasn't true either. Go. Let's go to the next one.
All right. Mundo 144 says, get Ratazan back on the podcast. Replace NORBEEZ with the homie every now
Oh,
and then.
Ratazan. Shout out to Ratazan. That's the Hebrew brother right there. Tribe of Judah.
94 YM says, when is NORBEEZ going to take you to visit his tribe in Oaxaca?
Oh, I'm down.
Well, I mean, I could take him to one of the gatherings that we have.
I'm down. You never take me?
Yeah, I've got to say, I don't go.
Oh, see the way you are?
It's just you go there for like since your childhood. I mean,
Hey, you been to Oaxaca though?
oh yeah.
Yeah? You flew over there?
Yep.
How long is that flight?
I mean, from here to there. Now, don't quote me on this, but I was pretty sure it was a 5-hour flight.
A 5-hour flight? That's about the equivalent. I just flew back from DC.
Okay, so probably about the same amount.
Yeah, about 5 hours.
Yeah, and then it's a 5-hour drive from the city to the village.
All right.
All mountains.
All right.
But you like it. A lot of people like it. I mean, it's the most saturated tourist state in Mexico. I think there's another poll question. You pretty much answered it. All right, Evolve to Play. Is racism real here in the U.S. and can you elaborate on the topic? Gracias.
Definitely, racism is real. You know, but there's different forms of racism. There's racism. People call me racist. Oh, you're racist. You know, you're always talking about white people or whatever. No, I love my people. That's a form of love. You know, but then you get into a racist of hate. You know, that's another thing. You know. That's a whole different thing. You know, I've felt, you feel tension, you know when somebody don't like you. I just came back from Maryland and DC and out that area. And, you get these looks, you know, I understand that I'm all tatted or whatever, but they also know that I'm a Mexicano, you know, and they look down on you. You know, and you know that. I also used to stay in North Hollywood with my grandmother for a little bit, and I stayed in a community called Valley Village. They changed the name from North Hollywood to Valley Village, right there. And there's a synagogue right across the street from where my grandma's house was at, and all that community right there are all those Ashkenazi Jewish people. You know, the ones with the little caps and the real güeros, the bloodline of Esau. And them, they look at you with disgust. They look at you. I don't know if you've ever been around that kind, because there's some that they still dress like that, and they might talk to you. But there's some that'll look at you with disgust, and they teach them that. They teach them that.
Yeah.
You know, they teach them that you're goyim. And goyim is a Gentile, a heathen, and they teach you that you're less, you're not the equivalent, you're dirty. We're dirty to them. Yeah, you know, and that is hatred. That's a racist hate right there.
Oh yeah,
you know, and I don't care, you know, what people think about me, but for saying this, but they need to be wiped off the map. You know, those are the ones that are funding wars. Those are the ones that are taking lands. Those are the ones that are the owners of everything. Almost every television news station that you probably grew up with, NBC, ABC, Fox, all that. Those are all the heads of these corporations.
Yep.
And the jewelry, the diamond district, they own everything. Yeah. Everything. How did they get that power?
Yeah.
What are they doing? You see them videos of them coming out of tunnels.
Yeah.
Them having a thing with a distorted way of circumcision. They call a moil.
Yeah.
That's disgusting, bro. It's so dirty.
Yeah.
But there's a lot to say about them.
Yeah. No, you're right. You know what? I think right now, more than ever, racism is definitely high, especially towards the Raza community. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you know, but Trump has been on this whole we got to deport illegals and stuff.
Yeah, he's the illegal.
Which his politics, I understand his point of view why he does that. But the one thing he stays quiet about is saying raza. He just in a broad sense he would just say everyone that shouldn't be here. Mm-hmm. But recently we've had 3 U.S. citizens that look like us that have been arrested by ICE and getting ready to deport them. Now, all of these 3 people said, no, we're born U.S. citizens. We're from here.
Yeah.
And even after showing their IDs and their birth certificates to prove it, the ICE wouldn't let them go. It would take like 2 to 3 days for them to let them go. Like, these guys are literally citizens. And the only reason why they're keeping them detained is because they look like us. Yeah. Because they are us.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people want to say that Trump isn't a racist. That doesn't mean the people that work under him aren't racist.
But it's not. It has nothing to do, and I tell people too, bro, and you believe this, that's your opinion, okay? Yeah. But Trump has nothing to do with any of these decisions, bro, that are being made. And it's not even the people.
I get you.
Not even the people that are under him, but the people that are above him are the real racist ones, and those are the people that we just talked about.
And that's
even he put a Jewish cap on, and he went over there to the Temple Wall and touched it, they called him Jewish. They're all this crap, homie.
I remember I saw a clip of I guess what you would call a super powerful Jewish guy actually acknowledged Trump as a Jewish.
Yeah,
and the other part too is that I don't know if you remember, but I had mentioned that. The population in Italy and in Germany is dropping. Nobody's having babies over there. Now, recently, Trump is planning to put out another, not another, but he's planning to put out a program where he's going to give people $5,000 to have babies in the U.S. Now, I'm pretty sure it's not for us because we're having babies.
Definitely.
But they're not having babies.
Yeah.
So it's more of a problem for them. So I wonder how he's going to make it so only that money goes to them and not to us.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to have a problem having all these kids and claiming that $5,000.
The major thing that they're doing right now in the government-wise is causing a civil unrest. That's what they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
All this shit with China exposing, the Louis Vuittons and the all those name brand things or whatever, that all that shit's staged. That's all propaganda, false flag stuff that they're doing. Yeah. All these nations behind their closed doors, they work together. They work together. Yeah. There's not one nation of people that doesn't work together that is of a hierarchy, right? Whether it be Germany, Russia, Putin, the Trumps, whoever.
Yeah.
Even that Jewish lady that's fucking president of Mexico, right? And even the one that's in El Salvador right now.
Yeah.
They all work together. Well, if
one of them,
that one. Well, I mean, in order for them to be alive, think about it. If they went against the grain, bro, how many countries would attack that country?
Well, that's the thing. For instance, you mentioned Mexico. Mexico is going against the grain because they are currently working with Russia and China.
But those are just ploys. Those are just acts to make you believe that they're going against the grain, and they're not, bro. Just like a law.
Yeah.
A law, they'll give you a little bit of authority for a while,
Yeah.
You know, I showed people the thing on the plantation.
Yeah.
On how plantation works.
Yeah.
You know, and they bring their family members in,
Yeah.
and this plantation is gonna work, and we're gonna let you all be free now. From now on, you're a free man.
Yeah.
But so you don't get caught by another
Yeah.
continue to work for this and grow your food and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
No,
and
no,
they
I
make you
remember.
believe it's
I
a
remember that.
psychological thing.
I remember that video.
Yeah, it's
I
a
remember.
psychological thing.
Well, in this case, what I appreciate about the Mexican president is that she made an entire new agency that is run only by indigenous tribes in the federal government, meaning that agency has a say as far as, you know, creating laws or protecting indigenous lands.
Which will get overthrown soon.
Well, you know what? If the other parties do win, they would probably attempt to take that out. But what I like about this that guy, the president that was there before this lady, she was under him, and he was indigenous, and he did make a lot of laws that benefited indigenous people and actually hurt the corporation industry in Mexico. Like, he took a lot of rights from them. And he took a lot of ability to make money.
So let me tell you something. If things haven't changed for thousands of years, what makes you think that they're going to change now?
Oh, they're changing.
Are they?
changing. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
How are they changing?
Well, one.
Are you free?
You mean here?
Yeah.
Well,
What do you mean here? Where do you think you're at right now?
All right.
Where do you think you're at right now?
All right.
You believe in
where you're going.
You believe in the United States.
I see where you're going.
You're not.
Well, the thing with that, and you're right, because I was born here, so I'm still more in the mindset
Here, where?
of the system, of this governing system,
Right.
which is the United States.
I tell people
Incorporate.
all the time about law.
Yeah.
Law, right?
Yeah.
You're driving your car, you know, and you're getting stopped by a cop, and he's telling you he's making a lawful stop, but for speeding or whatever, it's a lawful stop. That's not law. Those are none of the stuff that the police are stopping you for are lawful things. Those are city ordinances within that city. The speed limit.
Yeah.
You know, your window tint.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It may be. Those are called city ordinances. Those are not laws. You know?
Yeah.
And if you admit to being that person on your ID,
Yeah.
you're stating that you're willing to do business with the federal government.
Yeah.
You're saying, yeah, I'm a driver. I'm a driver. What is a driver? A driver is a person that's driving merchandise.
Yeah. All right.
Okay?
Yeah.
That you're not you're traveling. You're
that makes
traveling.
More sense. You're traveling.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
You don't need to register your car. You don't need to do none of that bullshit that they're telling you that you have to do. That's not law. Those are city ordinances.
That's crazy. I seen people. You know, I saw this reel on Instagram where apparently this judge says if you do get pulled over, like the examples you gave out, what you would put is you would put some initials, like I forgot what they were, but it would indicate that you signed under fear of threat,
Under duress.
something like that,
Right.
and you would put that on your signature. And by doing that, when it goes to court, it automatically gets dismissed.
Yeah.
Because apparently, you know, because the officer approached you like that, you know, and you felt threatened,
Right.
you know,
Which they always do.
and that automatically, you know, cancels it or dismisses it.
The thing that sucks though is that say you get busted on or you get stopped on a Friday,
Yeah.
and that cop, for whatever reason, he wants to lock you up. You're gonna get busted for the weekend.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, you'll come and you'll have a DA reject, it'll be dismissed
Yeah.
or whatever, but you're still gonna get busted. And that's what sucks about it.
Yeah. They got power. You know, the board of, I don't know if you're familiar with the board of supervisors. They're the ones that make the rules for the county of LA. They work with Metro, meaning that they get paid by Metro. And Metro being a private company,
Yeah.
right? So the board of supervisors that work there, which I think is 2 of them, they're going to create a police department for Metro that have the same rights as a city police.
Yeah.
So it's crazy how, you know, they're just creating more police agencies.
The thing that sucks is because they're creating those for our people to police our own people. That's what sucks.
Yeah.
Just like all these ICE agents or the people that just hit the callejones.
Oh yeah.
You know, all them busing those agents. A majority of them are raza, homie.
Yeah.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
They have us shipping our own people out, doing their dirty work.
I was at Dodger Stadium for an event. This Iron Man thing or something like that.
Did you make a straw out of your Dodger dog?
Triathlon? No. There was no game. The Dodgers weren't there. It was some sort of triathlon. Anyways, they had ICE agents there, and both of them were raza, which I thought was crazy. Like,
have you ever been profiled?
I'm pretty sure I have.
What do you mean you're pretty sure? You
pretty
know
sure.
or you don't know? Have the cops ever stopped you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
All right. Yeah.
That sucks, bro.
Well, it does. I mean, that's how that department was founded. You know, that department was founded specifically to target us.
They want to exterminate us, bro. Whether the raza want to accept it or not, that's what they want to do.
No. Wait. They want to use us, then exterminate us.
Well, yeah, definitely.
That's it.
We're having more babies than them to take our place.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter.
Well, that's why I tell people, you want to make a difference. Right now, we don't have the power, but you keep making babies, we're gonna eventually have the power.
But we do have the power.
You're
right. The power starts in your kids at home, creating a pure mindset and moral system of etiquette.
Facts.
What we're giving to them that will say, you know what? I'm not gonna do that. No, I'm not gonna take that order.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna fight that ridiculous war and go invade another person's land for you.
Yeah.
For the benefit of whatever reason. The banking system. No, I don't believe in your fake narrative. 9/11 was fixed. You know, the Pentagon was fixed.
Yeah.
All that stuff, bro.
Yeah, all that stuff is coming out too.
But nobody speaks up. Nobody says nothing.
That part right there too.
They're all being fear-mongered, you know? It sucks, bro. And still today, you know, you got cops today that are still pushing agendas and narratives for their captains and sergeants.
It's crazy, man. I mean, and then again, even our diets work against. Even the food works against us. They made food to work against us, to make us dumber, make us slower.
You can't find pure food anywhere. I talk about that all the time.
They do that intentionally, and then you know it's crazy because sometimes I feel that you know they're even podcasts. Some podcasts are just poison to our community. They.
What do we talk about on here?
Yeah.
Not prison shit.
No.
Who cares?
Wow.
What is that gonna get you? Nowhere.
How's it going? All right.
Go for it. My bad if that conversation lagged on.
Well, I'll read this one anyways, because I'm pretty sure you already talked about it, but it just brings up somebody else. Wrinkle Munoz says, what a marvelous. Can you talk about how Nostradamus predicted the death of our 2025 Pope, the last Pope, and if there's any ties with our president supposedly being the last president? Also talk about shoe etiquette, the standard of back then versus what the young generation is like now.
All right, let's break that down real quick.
Which part?
What was the first one? Nostradamus?
Yeah, can you talk about Nostradamus predicted the death of our 2025 Pope?
Okay.
And if there's any ties with the president supposedly being the last president.
Okay.
I hope so.
So remember we talked about prophecy, right?
Yeah.
Who knows what he predicted? You know?
Yeah.
Like we always talk about his story, right?
Mm-hmm.
His story. They write the books. They make whatever they're going to do. We do know what is fact is that they go by sacred geometry. Okay? They do go by that. The number 88 does correlate to something within their sacrificial offering. Okay? Also, who knows what any truth is or what any prophecy was? You know, the prophecies and all these prophecies that are coming out, and they're telling you that they're prophecies.
Yeah.
They're telling you that this is going to be the last pope and that it was written and all this and that. They're giving you these books. They're telling you this, that. You know? Was any of that ever prophesied in our cultura?
No.
No. They brought all that. with all the images that they brought as well. You know, they told you about the Atlantic slave trade. You know, there's another thing they talked to you about. They said that they brought all these Africans over from Africa. Where's all the ships at? You know, we find out that the black people that are here now, when you do study or you do go to, you know, some of the ruin sites or the museums in Mexico, you will see black people along with indigenous people that are carved into the granite stone. They're together. They're together. Why is that?
What granite stone?
In the museums over there. There's museums over there. I'll show you after the show. Oh, you know what? I should have clipped it before, and you could have showed them right here on them. All right.
Good.
But they'll show they're on there, bro. It's crazy, you know. So then you think about, okay, let's talk about slavery, right?
Yeah.
So they brought all these Africans over here, right?
Yeah.
And they put them in all. Allegedly. They made camps just for them. You know, just for them. What happened to all the indigenous people? Did they just kill them off and bring all the Africans over here? Or were those people already here? Were they all mixed in among us and then built the camps to put indigenous people into these settings?
Well, to that, what you just said, I would say that even now they're finding mass graveyards.
Exactly, the mounds
of indigenous people.
The mounds.
So that's recent. So who knows how many more mass graveyards there are throughout the country. And that's crazy because it took us up to now to start finding these bones after so many years.
No, but they've been there, bro. Just like the cathedrals. There's places that were built on top of pyramids.
Yeah.
They're built right on top of these energy centers that are lakes of mercury underneath, bro. We talked about the ether and the cathode, you know, a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
You know, people don't know about this. What the fireplace is originally made for.
Yeah.
Free energy. They harvested all this stuff. We talked about the Great Wall of China.
Yeah.
That was the Great Wall of Tartaria to keep the Moabites out. The Asians.
So that just goes to there's a lot of parts of history that we are not privy to.
No. Because they're spinning these narratives at us. They're the ones telling you about you.
Yeah, that part right there.
They're telling you what's good for you.
Do you want to hear the prophecy that they're talking about for Nostradamus?
Go for it.
It goes, through the death of a very old pontiff, a Roman of good age will be elected. Of him it will be said that he weakens his seas, but long will he sit in biting activity. That's it.
Yeah, they're doing their own thing. They're still spinning their own narrative and their own sacrifice to who they're worshiping, which is essentially Lucifer. All right.
Yep.
There's so many names, you know, people call him.
The light bringer.
Yeah, the light bearer, Horus. You know, people don't even know the names like ours. You read your clock every day, right? What's your clock?
Oh, ours.
Horus. Chronos.
Oh, Chronos.
Right? Who's that? Horus. It's not pronounced ours. How many Horuses?
Wasn't Cronus also the name of Zeus's dad?
There you go. It's still the light bearer. It's still a deity of Lucifer. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's not pronounced ours. It's Horus's.
All right. Dang. Okay. Went in deep on that one too. All right. So as far as the community post, that is it for the community post.
All right.
So you want to take calls?
We spent a cool minute on that.
Yeah,
we could take calls.
All right. Give me 1 second here. Let's see.
Oh yeah, somebody put in the comment section. The angel of light, loose. Yeah, loose.
Have you seen that? Have you seen that?
I'm not saying Chronos is Horus, bro. Sweet nothings.
Have you seen that video? Supposedly they have video of a watcher, the one with the spinning things around and the eye in the center.
Where?
The spirals. It's a video.
Oh yeah, the video. Yeah,
I
I seen one of the videos, but I don't know if it's the same one you're talking about.
It might be.
Of the energy above the firmament, right?
Yeah.
I seen that one else.
So have you seen more about
Damn, what's up with these earphones you gave me, homie?
That's it. We're at the
Hey, what
end
we're
of
gonna
this.
talk about something else?
Are we taking black collars?
No, we're not. But weren't you gonna talk about some podcast or something?
Oh shit, we were. Well, we'll get that at the end.
Gonna get that at the end. All right, we'll get that at the
You
end.
know what? I totally forgot to.
Damn, these earphones, bro.
They're not it anymore, man. They're very old.
Very old. Very old.
Caller, can you hear us? Okay, so
I can't hear my earphones, but I can hear myself.
all right. So can you hear us now, caller?
Now you can't hear him. You could leave it like that, bro, because I could hear it off you.
All right, caller. No.
If we have problems with the phone again, it's NORBEEZ's fault.
Hey. Caller, can you hear us?
Yes.
All right, call.
There you go, yeah.
Yeah, we could hear
Well, I
you.
mean, I can't hear you on here, but I can hear you through him.
Yeah.
So go for it, bro. Your name and where you calling from, homie? Or you could stay anonymous if you want to. It's up to you, bro.
Yeah, for today I'm gonna stay anonymous, but I'm from Mindz County.
All right.
The reason I'm gonna stay anonymous is because I'm gonna touch up on something and hopefully it doesn't come back to bite me in the ass. Yeah.
No, go for it, homie.
So you're talking about the race system and shit, and well, I currently work at the hospital,
Right.
but I worked at another hospital, right?
Yeah.
And you see that shit so much, though, like, it's fucking stupid. Like the raza gets like, fucking, how do you want to say it? Like, micromanage, like, fucking, all kinds of shit, you know?
Yeah.
But what I see, like, when it's someone, like, Caucasian, dog, like, they can do whatever and they never do wrong, you know what I mean?
Facts.
Like, it's like, I don't know, dog, like, it's stupid, you know, but to tell you this, there was this coworker of mine, and he was he was like he would pick up shifts, like here and on, off and on, but he was the only one that had this schedule, like, so you work one month on and 1 month off, and he was I don't know if you guys know this, but like per diem, which means like when they need you type of shit.
Yeah.
So he would go 1 month on and 1 month on working and then 1 month on off, and he'll go to the Vietnam or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And my homie that was part time, he couldn't get his part time hours because that guy's working like all the overtime. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they like, I don't know, man, like just the fucking like the treatment that they would give us. Well, I mean us as in raza, right?
Yeah.
Like they would always give us bullshit.
You're right, bro. There's so many nurses, homie, that contact me, and I'm talking about guy nurses too, bro. Like, and people that work in the hospitals and stuff like that, and they say it's rigged, homie. It's rigged, bro. The hours that they call you in for, like everything that they make you do extra that isn't even part of your job duty. And you know what? Most of the majority of raza are just down to do it because they're compassionate. They're compassionate, bro.
Well, and then what other
Hold it close to the mic.
thing, right? I want to touch upon one more thing and I'll let it go.
Yeah.
So one time I was getting micromanaged, but keep in mind, dog, like you know, we come from the barrio, you know what I mean? Like fucking,
Yeah.
we don't really move about shit like that. But like what's micromanagement? Maybe we experienced it, but we don't know how to explain ourselves, you know?
Yeah.
And that was me, dog. Like I didn't know, I knew like I was getting micromanaged, like I was like, man, am I tripping? But I didn't know there was a fucking term and you know what I mean? Like the proper way to express yourself.
Yeah.
And fucking, I ended up reporting one of my supervisors, dog. And to me, dog, it's like, that shit was hard, homie, because, you know, we come from, like, we don't say shit. You know, like, we just keep it pushing, whatever,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And my good friend, me dijo, yeah, dog, but that's the streets, dog. Like, this ain't the streets, homie. Like, this is your job, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
And it's
yeah,
and it's not only your job, homie. It's your life. Like it's your life, bro.
Like that girl, like the supervisor, like she don't give a fuck she was trying to like, she was just bullshit, dog. And I ended up reporting her, and they didn't get back to me till like 2 weeks later, dog.
Yeah.
But this is what kind of pissed me off, because if it would have been the Haina reporting me, it would have been a whole nother story, dog. It would have been like within that fucking minute or moment or whatever, But I feel like that shit is all like strategy, dog. Like just to make sure like you forget about it or forget about the incident, whatever,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's what I felt. That's what I used to felt.
You're absolutely right, homie. Don't ever be afraid to fucking speak up. Like, just hold your ground, homie. That's how they keep walking over us. Fuck that. We gotta stand our ground sometime.
But right there, look, in the hospital industry, like if they like you, they like you, and if they don't like you, they're never gonna like you, dog. There's no it doesn't matter if you're a good worker. It doesn't matter your work ethic. When someone don't like you, dog, and in their power, like they're gonna make your life shit, dog.
Yeah.
And I've seen it. So that's why I can say that.
Yeah. I appreciate your call, homie. Thank you very much, homie. I appreciate your call. My respects to you and your family, homie. All right.
Marvelous.
All right.
NORBEEZ, you guys have a good night.
All right, you too, homie. Hey, I think he could hear me, bro. Like they could hear me. Just hold the phone just to the mic.
Wait 1 second.
Man, NORBEEZ, man.
Oh, let me just forget this thing, and let me just.
All right, hold up. We're gonna take more calls right now. We're also gonna touch on some other subjects right now after this one.
Yes, we are.
There it goes. Now I can hear it.
Caller, your name and where you calling from?
I'm Indiana.
Oh, there you go.
What's up, Indiana?
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, bro. I got a question real quick. So first of all, bro, NORBEEZ, get a new phone, bro. Come on now, bro.
Tell him, bro.
Trying, man,
Look at they even dropping $2 on you. Get it together. Damn, dog.
Hey, the question is, bro, like, all right, because I always see that shit about about the indigenous people and the black people, the Africans, this, that, like they're all fucking they all had like a start of like Indian ways or but the white man, where did the white man start? Because it always seems like the white man's always taking over or coming and conquer, but where was supposedly the white man's beginning?
So as far as the white man comes, that he comes out of the Caucasus caves, out of that region.
The mountains of Caucasus.
Yeah.
You
just wanted to say that, huh? You just wanted to say that. But I mean, what I really believe in what Torah says, bro, about the bloodline of Esau and Jacob, and a nation that will overcome another nation of people, because it's happening right before your eyes. Like that's happening right before your eyes. And and man, it's just not every white man will there. I mean, there's different tribes. There's different tribes that come. I think they call it the 10-headed beast that comes out of there. And there's different tribes like the Saxons and other ones. But I believe in the prophecy part. Because I'm literally seeing that before my eyes, that how we are, the indigenous man is bonded, we're bond men and bond women, we're born into a slavery. And I see by studying, Greek mythology and ancient Kemet, Egypt and all this and that, and Horus and all the sacrifices they used to do to Moloch and all that stuff. And essentially Lucifer, I see that all happening, and it's still happening, with Epstein Island and, a lot of stuff that gets sent to me, like behind the scenes, the videos that I've showed, I've got my channel taken down for, my Instagram. I got it taken down for some of the stuff that, I shouldn't have been showing, in the first place, that happened in Epstein Island. But, a lot of the participants, bro. And, even, people, think about they talk about the Illuminati, right? And the Illuminati isn't the only thing. Those are the illuminated ones that are part of those 13 bloodlines. There's also the Bole. The Boule are the so-called Israelites that are the Uncle Toms of them, are the ones that are the yes sir, yes I'll do whatever you want sir, and the ones that want to do their sacrificial offerings to gain benefits and so-called blessings down here on earth. But in reality, like I look at everything in a spiritual sense, bro. I mean, I don't look at it like, and I don't think a lot of people understand me when I speak, because they're not seeing it like that. They're like believing, seeing is believing, right? But I look at it as believing is seen. If you manifest stuff, you manifest prayer to work, and they know this. They manifest their sacrificial offerings for the benefit of themselves, and it works for them because they're doing their prayers to their God, which is essentially Lucifer. They're doing all this Luciferian stuff. You got all these obelisks everywhere, and people are like, "Oh, well, it's just a monument. It's just a Washington monument." No, it's not. It's not. Oh, well, he just did this to do this, and it's more than that, bro. It goes deeper than that. People talk about, oh, you gotta go. You're going down the rabbit hole. Like, nah, motherfucker, I'm coming out of the rabbit hole, and I'm seeing what's really right here before me. I'm seeing all these kids being sacrificed. You're seeing all our people be raped, robbed, and pillaged. You're seeing all this land getting taken. You're seeing all these laws being promoted. You're seeing them having our people police our people, and we're right here believing that our vote is going to account for something, or it's going to work for something. Or look, things are changing. Look at NORBEEZ just said, oh, things are changing. No, they're not. They're not changing. They're the same. You're gonna, just because it changes maybe for 5 years or 10 years, that doesn't mean that it's gonna stay that way. It has never stayed that way.
History repeats itself.
Yeah, it's a never-ending cycle. It's that snake biting its tail, and it's gonna keep going around in a circle, just like a dog chases its tail. Yeah. And every once in a while, you might come to shallow water and be able to breathe again, but nah, you're gonna end up back in the deep where your ancestors are at. You're going to end up right back there. You're eating the same poison. You're believing in the same poison. You're doing the same rituals that they have you Easter, Christmas. Wait, it's Halloween again. Oh, wait, I got to spend more money. I got to do these things. You got to go to work every day. You got to work a 9 to 5 every day. You're going in the same circle, chasing the same dream, the same American dream. But you got to be asleep to live in that dream, to have that reality of that dream. When you wake up, you're in a desert, homie, and everything that was green has now been robbed from you.
Damn.
All your seeds, all your culture, all our war dances,
we're gonna bring
our prayers, homie, the way we used to really make food, our real teachings.
Yeah.
They cut it all off of us, bro. Cut us off from it along with our hair. Yeah. We're still doing the same thing, bro. And now we got podcasters teaching youngsters, this is what you should do, and this is how you should conduct. They're preparing them for captivity, prison. Talking about prison, homie. This is how you keister a filero, and this is how you do, and this is how you bang, and this is my barrio, this is where we kick it at. And they're documenting all this shit. And they're teaching all the youngsters, and our youngsters are right there at the swami dancing, and nobody knows nothing about nothing, bro. Nobody knows nothing. Our women, we've lost our women. They're all dancing like men. We've lost our men. They're all turning gay. Our population is dying off in every which way, form, everything, bro. From our mind, our body, and our spirit is gonna be gone. And that's what they want.
Damn. All right. Well, thanks, caller. I hope
I appreciate you, homie. My bad, bro.
I hope that answers your question.
No, yeah, you good. You have a good night.
You too, homie.
Damn, that was
my bad, bro. If I get long
the crazy part is it's the year of the snake right now for Chinese
Sure
zodiac.
is. Sure is.
Caller, your name and where you calling from?
New York, baby.
North Bay?
New York.
New York.
Yo, New York?
New York in the house.
Hell yeah, New York. Oh shit, what time is it over there? Like midnight?
They're like 3 hours ahead.
We're 11:46.
Oh, there you go.
It's almost midnight.
Yeah,
All right,
I appreciate your call,
shout out New
homie. Go
York.
for it.
Shout out New York.
The platform's yours, bro.
Yeah, man. I'm just saying, man. You hit the topic the other day about the dress code actually a caller here, and he's like he wasn't feeling the way that these new generation was wearing the dress code. But I feel like we gotta let that go, man. It is what it is, bro. Like these dudes are gonna do what they want to do, and it's their time, you know.
Right.
Like like back then it meant a lot, but now it don't mean nothing. We can't control that. It is what it is. Over here in New York, we used to dress a certain way, and now they're dressing different, and I can't be mad at that. I can't be that old nigga on the block talking about, back in the day I did this, back in the day I did that. It is what it is. Time changes, and we can only move forward and evolve from that, Because I don't dress like that no more,
Mm-hmm.
And I remember back that wave hit New York.
Right.
You guys from LA, California, Southern California,
Mm-hmm.
Especially for us Mexicans in New York. Yeah, trendsetters in that sense, where there was a lot of gang banging over here. Mexican gang banging.
Right.
Real shit.
Yeah.
Where Mexicans from Mexico would catch a body and then go back to Mexico and then come back like it's nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like that's how influenced us. But it's not like that no more. Times are changing, and I think we gotta move forward. And we can't let that. These new generations, they don't learn the hard way. Well, we just gotta stand back and let them, learn from that.
So here's how it goes. I agree with you, and I disagree with you. So here's what I agree with. I agree with, yes, let them dress however they're gonna dress. I agree that they have their own minds and they are just like we were, homie. I don't know how old you are, but you have your generation.
No, I'm 33.
Okay.
I'm 33, going on 34.
Cool. So yeah, see, you have your generation, homie, like and our older homies used to clown us, right? Oh, like, whatever we were doing, the music that we listened to, or maybe rap changed or whatever, right? But does that mean that we forget the foundation? Just like our culture, right? I talk a lot about CULTURA on here. Does that mean because we're evolving and stuff like that we're changed, we should just forget about everything? Nobody should ever talk about it again? Because our blood doesn't change. Our blood remains the same. Our blood doesn't evolve. Our memories are still in our blood. Our warrior-like mindset is still in our blood, So the thing is that, yeah, they can dress however they want, but they need to know the foundation and the structure that comes along with it. They need to know that this was a war attire. This was something that you put on, not to just fucking look más firme que wow, but something that you did as a tribal dress. Just like, the Mexica and the Maya and the Inca, they put on the regalia. They put on, they had their spears, everything. They had all their war attire, their shields, they had all that. These are our stuff today, either whether it be a gun or a knife or whatever. These are our weapons of war that we're using, right? The only problem with then and now is that we're fighting each other. We're killing each other. You know what I mean?
Tell you what, bro. Outside looking in, it looks like a mess out there in LA. There is no structure. So that's
Thank you.
Window, my boy.
Thank you, homie. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. And that's what I say. That's why I'm agreeing with homie right here. He's saying exactly what I say. The internet, they're showing. There you go. Go ahead, homie.
Look at your man's Bozo talking about all this and that. Grown ass nigga, talking about man, sit your ass down, bro. He flexing, got the Porsche, the foreign. He's talking about he flexing on niggas in the hood, man. You can't flex like that. Don't flex like that on somebody who's making your tax bracket. You on your tax bracket, bro. You can't flex on that, dude. You flexing on niggas from the hood, bro. Man, that ain't nothing, man. Like, this nigga flexing, I got the foreign. You live in the same hood, bro.
Yeah.
What that means?
Yeah.
Your priorities are not straight, bro. Go flex on somebody on your same tax bracket, bro.
Facts.
You can't. Because them niggas got the same phone you got. You know what I mean? Like, you talking about, I got the foreign and the dudes or son, man, some of these grown dudes, they preaching the wrong thing, bro, and they got these niggas fucked up, bro.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I appreciate your call, homie. Thank you for calling. My respects to you, the homies in New York. And
hold on, though,
go
man.
for it. Go for it.
The dude before that was talking about my thing is up in there, Cali, y'all number the white boys, man. How y'all do? He's talking about that they treat like the Hispanic or Latino workers different. Like, I don't understand that. Y'all number them. What's the ratio between white boys and Mexicans?
It's a psychological thing and that's what people aren't thinking about. You know, they're worried about their job.
Come on, bro.
It is.
Come on, bro. I'm not from New York. You know, I'm battling not just Mexicans. I'm battling Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, Arabs. And it's all the same. It's a dog-to-dog world, but this is a crying about the white boy, man. Man, fuck the white boy. They didn't do whack, bro. Like they don't got the heart that we have. You know, especially sometimes got to take accountability, bro.
But see,
it works for that. You know what I'm saying?
But look at
some pride, you know.
But look at this. They're not seeing it like that. See, this thing right here, like I said, is psychological, bro. They're not looking at it. Oh, it's a white boy. They're not looking at it like it's an Arab. They're thinking about it as a system. It's the system that's holding us down. But who's controlling the system? That's what they need to figure out.
But y'all don't number them, bro. Yeah, the system. It's like 50 Mexicans versus 3-4 white boys, and the 4 white boys got you under control, bro. It can't be possible. You cannot explain that to me. I don't understand that.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I mean, look at the prison system, homie. How many homies are in prison right now? Whether it be anybody, Texas Syndicate, MN, Norteños, Nuestra Familia. I mean, any major prison gang or whatever, the majority of homies is deep raza, whether you be Puerto Rican, Mexicano, Cubano, Colombian, El Salvador, anything, the numbers are there. But who's controlling that system? Just a small group of individuals, guards. There's how many inmates per guard, and they still got control. You know, it's crazy. It's a mind thing. It's a mindset.
But I think he's mostly pointing towards the economic part of it. But
exactly.
what I would tell you right now is we're not wealthy here on this side. Like,
we're not wealthy anywhere.
The majority of the west side of LA is nothing but super rich white people. I'm talking about ridiculously rich. Like, these people have like 6 or 7 generations worth of wealth behind them.
Yo,
they
you
have all the money.
Norby. You also gotta understand, bro. Us Mexicans, we don't know how to fucking manage our fucking money. We get the check.
You're right. You're right.
We get the check.
Yeah.
We get the tax money. We go fresh out, all the fuck out. Take the fucking check.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Buy a fucking property, lay on that for a minute, and then sell that shit. Or give that shit to your kids.
No, you're right.
And then you move
right.
on.
Now,
a lot of these dudes, that's easy ones, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know where that coming from.
Now,
a lot of these dudes get the check and spend. Oh, where we gonna go? What's the next club out? We're popping bottles or what?
Yeah. Now, I will tell you the difference between us and them, and this is a lot of them. I'm talking about the Koreans. I'm talking about the Jews. I'm talking about the whites. And then the only ones that don't participate in these activities are us and the blacks. These are the whites, the Jews, the Asians. They all stick together as a group since the beginning of high school. That's why they're in fraternities. We don't have fraternities. We don't have.
There's people in fraternities, homie, but the thing is that we haven't had shit for so long, or we grow up in a certain struggles that when we get something, we harness that shit, and we don't want to. We don't want to let it go.
And the thing is that they grow up thinking as a team, as a corporation, as a group. So they go in all together to build their wealth, to build their businesses. They go in on it together as, like, let's say a group of seniors. their high school puts them all together to always stay together and work together, and they stay working together till they're adults, and they start actually investing in themselves. They manage to stick together at a young age where we don't, because they don't teach us that stuff. They don't tell us, hey, okay, 2024 high school seniors in like East Los, like let's say Garfield High.
Come on,
all of you
you're
guys
from
were,
Oaxaca.
No, but I'm trying
Yeah,
to.
NORBEEZ, you're from Oaxaca, homie.
No, I know.
Don't make me fly the homie from New York over here, dog.
No, we're doing it. Look, I'll tell you this right now. Especially because wait. No. I'm glad you said Oaxacans, because my tribe and my people from Oaxaca, we are making these groups in LA. This is why we're making a bigger impact in a lot shorter time than the majority.
I'm from Puebla, right? I'm from Puebla, right? That's right next to Oaxaca, right?
Yeah, you're just right up north.
You know what they call New York?
No, what do they call New York?
They call Puebla, York. You know why they call it Puebla, York?
Because everybody...
Us Puebla niggas, we get busy, bro. We get fucking busy.
You do.
We don't give a fuck, bro. We get shit done. And I'm not saying that, to pump shit up, bro.
Yeah.
But and we just a little small number up in New York, but
let me ask you this.
Make it rain over here, bro.
Let me ask you this. You guys are only what, 1 and 2nd generation there, right?
Yeah.
Look how far you guys have gone.
Look how far along we came.
And that's the thing. Us, that we come from those villages.
10 generations on us.
That's the part. You see, you're right. You're right. You are 100% right. And you know what? They were doing it. There was a group here in East LA that was actually doing that. They made the first Costco for East LA. But the problem was that these guys got rich and they went into politics. They became leaders.
You know what the problem
and
is?
Then they went federal.
The last two, bro?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. When y'all do call Mexican paisa and y'all segregate each other, oh, that's a paisa.
Yeah.
That's a paisa. And that's a homie.
Yeah.
You know, come on, man. That shit is whack. Over here in New York, todos somos paisa. Y todos somos mexicanos. Y yo, ese es el tío ahí. Ese es el compa ahí. Yo, ese es el pinche cholo. Oh, güey, ¿vas a querer taco o qué?
No, you're right. That's why I love New York, because New York keeps it real.
You don't love New York. You never even been there. Stop lying, homie.
But you know what? The one thing that he doesn't know, that right here in East LA, unfortunately, a lot of Mexicans grew up not wanting to be Mexican. A lot of them, they didn't
NORBEEZ, let's just stop it right there. I don't know what you're talking about.
A lot of parents were not trying to teach their kids Spanish, and a lot of them were telling them to, be with a white guy, because the lighter skin you are, the better off you'll be in this city.
Yeah, a little bit of that's true.
And that's the unfortunate part, because that not only does that spread here, but that even spread into Mexico, where brown indigenous people didn't want to be indigenous, because
I don't know about that one,
they created a self-hate where a lot of brown people were doing the bleach skin thing, where they were lighting.
What created self-hate is when they brought Catholic churches over here.
Facts.
The fucking conquistadors and all that shit.
Facts.
They brought all that shit. That created self-hate.
And then you had the mainstream media, you had shows, you had movies that only the light-skinned people were the rich, happy people, and all the criminals and all the poor people were brown people.
Hey, we've been on this call for a minute.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I appreciate your call, homie.
Go, man.
Hey, blessings your way, homie. I hope you're doing good. My respects to you, dog.
Definitely, man. Thank you.
Think about that. Think about that, though, bro.
Definitely.
Think about that. How y'all niggas call Mexicans paisas, yo. Think about that.
I have.
NORBEEZ, you're a paisa. Stop it.
I appreciate you.
I'm just playing.
You're a paisa too.
I'm just playing, homie.
Come on,
We're all raza. I don't do that, dog. We don't say it as a separation like that, dog. We don't do that.
Nah, you do, bro. You do, bro.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
It's a thing in LA, and no, I feel you on that one, because I told Marvelous before too. Like I truly do believe that word is actually short for paisajista.
No, but you're right. You're right when you're saying it creates a separation. You're right in that aspect, homie. But in the what about him?
That dude, he don't call himself a Chicano. That dude, he said he's Mexican, bro, because he really feeling it, bro. He really in there, yo, and what is crazy is he could switch both sides. He could tap into what you guys call Chicano world,
Yeah.
and and he could switch sides into Mexico. He could go live,
Yeah.
you know, and not anybody got that. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
Well,
peace out, bro.
No, yeah. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. No, you know what? Conejo is actually a first generation here. His parents are Mexican. That's probably why he doesn't connect himself with Chicanos. But yeah, that's it. That's all right. Lines are open. So before we go to the next call,
I know NORBEEZ Mindz. Damn, you handled that call forever, homie. Shit.
Sorry about that rant, guys. You know,
Shout out to that caller though. Shout out to that caller.
Shout out New York. Shout out to the caller. Is he the guy from Yonkers? I don't know.
I don't have no. I don't think I ever heard him.
But at least
call
now
before.
now we know that he's from Puebla. So shout out to Puebla also.
So what do you think about the whole paisa thing?
You know what? I truly do believe it is a short word for paisajista. And I don't know if you know what paisajista means. Paisajista means it means a landscaper.
Okay. So what I'm saying is what he's saying, oh, you know, yes you do, or whatever. We're not using it like that in that sense as a derogatory thing or like to separate us, because if something happens to a paisa, a Mexicano, we're gonna jump.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna let a paisa get all fucked up or robbed or some shit like that. That's my people right there.
Yeah, I think in a sense over there they see it more as a derogatory thing, where in here it became a reference. I think more because of I want to say maybe because of a prison, possibly.
Well,
it became a thing because in prison they use that, right?
Do you have a call?
We do now.
Go ahead.
Caller, your name and where you calling from?
Hey, good evening, guys. How y'all doing?
Good, and yourself?
Good. Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, bro. Sorry, my bad.
Okay, guys. Hey, it's funny, man. I know you guys were talking about other stuff regarding what you guys were talking about today's show, but I wasn't.
Caller, can you hear me?
Dude, don't tell me you lost this call, man.
Hey,
It sounded like it was gonna be good.
The first one for the night, right?
Damn. Hey, call back, bro. If you could hear, please call back or call his number back if it showed
I'm
up.
calling you back right now.
That sucks. I hate when people feel like.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
yeah, bro.
yes,
go
yes.
for it, homie.
Go
My
for
bad.
Okay. Hey, so let me start all over. Yeah, I wasn't gonna touch on the whole dress code, but I personally been meaning to call you up on that topic in other previous shows that topic has come about. And but today wasn't that show. But when Homeboy brought it up, I was like, let me call in and touch on it a little bit. Can you guys hear me good?
Yes, sir. Go for it.
Go
for it. The platform's yours, bro.
Okay, cool. Anyway, shout out to both of you guys, man. I like the content you guys put together. But yeah, I'm from San Francisco, California. 47 years old. Just to give you guys a understanding and know what era I'm coming and calling from. So I grew up in the Bay Area in the 90s. You know, I'm 47 years old. Anyway, back in the Bay Area, back in those days, bro, we had a little bit of a different kind of dress code. We had two types of, homeboys or raza. We had homeboys that dressed just like the Bay Area flavor did, meaning you could call it hip hop style. And then you also had the homies that dressed up, cholo style, like LA. And I personally chose more of the cholo style versus hip hop style, right? But anyway, the reason I wanted to call in was because the homeboy Marvelous seems to have a problem with the youngsters nowadays dressing up like that when we used to dress like that and take it a certain way. I wouldn't go as extreme as you, Marvelous, saying that it's a war attire. But I do understand where you're coming from, man. And believe me, I'm in those shoes. I used to be hardcore, ironing my pants every weekend, listening to oldies in the background. I took that shit real serious, bro, and real to heart. So fast forward, now in the 2000s, I started seeing, all the youngsters wearing all those skinny jeans and looking kind of silly. And it bothered me, bro. But I also saw when the youngsters started dressing up the way I used to dress, and I used to take that, to heart. I used to take that real, it was a proud thing to do. Like I said, I creased my pants with pride and everything, as you know.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is this, I disagree and agree with you too, Marvelous. I get it. Believe me, when I first saw that, I used to be really bothered by it, man. You could say I looked at them as a clown, because they had no idea or understanding of it. With that said, bro, I think you would agree or maybe disagree, but I think you would understand a person like yourself that has a thinking mind that at the end of the day, if you had two choices, bro, wouldn't you rather have the youngsters be dressed like that, whether they understand it or not, versus wearing some, feminine clothing? And at the end of the day, before I finish, before you say whatever, I would just want to finish with this. I get it, man. At the end of the day, everybody has the choice and prerogative to do and act the way one to act. But when it comes to this, I get you, bro. It's a culture thing, and it's a very prideful thing. But at the same time, man, for me, you got to pick and choose your battles, man. And for me, although I don't agree with it as far as them wearing something that really wasn't in their era, I'd rather them wear that than, again, have them wear whatever they're wearing nowadays, bro, which is very feminine in my opinion. But go ahead, man. The floor is yours.
Okay, so I'm going to say it like this. I agree with you, bro. I agree with you 100%. I agree with you. And I'm going to say it like this. Every generation, whether it be, I don't know if you would consider I'm 43, we have the same generation. I don't know if you would consider that. But every generation, bro, since before us, the 70s, before them, they had the 50s or the 60s. I'm just going to double up and put 20 years on it. So they have their own generations, and each generation, they have their pride, their cora for the way they held themselves or conducted themselves, or the way they thought, or maybe they thought they were more of a man. And, now we got to our generation where we feel, damn, we actually had to go put in work. We had to go do this. And these youngsters are never going to understand. And I agree. I'd rather have our youngsters dressing like the way they're dressing right now. But the thing that I disagree with is that they're just not educated on what comes along with this. And there's a lot of youngsters that are going to get hurt behind dressing like this. And that's what I hate to see. Take the little youngster now that's all over social media. It just came out. I don't know if it's true or not that he's gay or whatever, that he's his own person, whatever, right? But he dresses like a cholo. He's a good kid. He's not from a gang or nothing like that. But he's going to get another youngster that's going to hate on him, for dressing like that and going to go bang on him. Or maybe somebody that doesn't even know him is because he's dressed like that. They're going to go bang on him. And God forbid something happens to that young man, because he wasn't hey, mijo, maybe you shouldn't wear that in this neighborhood. Or maybe you shouldn't. And yeah, he may like the style. That's firme. I would like our kids to dress más firme que wow, look nice, creased up, clean shoes, a nice ass shirt, but they gotta learn everything that comes along with it, along with consequences, because there's gonna be consequences. There's gonna be somebody trying to earn their name. There's gonna be somebody, whatever, just snapping on there's always that one snapper homie that just wants to snap on everybody. He's going to find himself at a party, and now that he's promoting that he's gay with this other kid, now that it's going to be even 10 times worse for him now. Now they're going to want to really press him as a man and maybe strip his clothes off or whatever. Like that, and that's going to be all bad. Like, damn, man, like that sucks. That he didn't know, but I don't know. It's like you can't, we're not going to be able to win or lose with this one. Like, yeah, we want him addressed. We're going to have an issue with everybody. Oh, he shouldn't wear skinny jeans. He shouldn't have an Edgar haircut. We didn't have that. We didn't listen to that music. Oh, you should be listening to this. Yeah, maybe they should be doing whatever they want to do.
I get
but
you,
I feel like they should be educated on consequences and just where it comes from.
No, I hear your
That's
part,
all I'm saying.
Because I know when I saw this when some girl that liked to dress like that got checked by an actual chola girl.
Yeah.
And, started checking her. Hey, where you from?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm from nowhere. Then why are you dressed like that?
Yeah. But and I've had it happen in my generation. We went to parties back in the late '90s, early 2000s, where vatos were all banged out, Raider jerseys, looked all lokes on their forehead, and they're pulling hyenas, and these hyenas think they're being with gang members.
Yeah.
Until a real gang member pulls up, hey, where you from, homie? Lift up your shirt right now. Oh, I don't bang it. Well, why you dressed like that? Oh, because I get hyenas. Oh yeah, really? Because you get hyenas? Let that fool have it. It ain't about getting hyenas, homie. We're out here getting banged on, and it's a survival thing out here.
It's a danger. They're creating a danger for themselves.
Yeah,
and for others that look.
Yeah,
look up to them.
Unless they got a whole familia to back them up or whatever, they're still gonna bang on them for what city they're from. Whether they're from Orange County, whether they're from the IE or LA or a certain barrio that somebody doesn't like, homie. They're going to be like, where you from? Well, I'm not from nowhere. Well, what city you staying from? What city you from, homie? Oh, I'm from Whittier. I'm from Pico. I'm from East LA. Oh, pep that, whatever. And they're going to get off on them.
That would happen.
They're going to get off on them.
That does happen here.
And that sucks.
That does happen.
That sucks,
No.
But
caller, you there?
Yeah, no, I'm listening. I don't want to interrupt.
No, my bad, brother. My bad. But go ahead, bro. I'm going to let you have the last word, homie. My platform's yours.
Yeah, no, I think we're on the same page, man. And believe me, I get exactly what you're saying. We're from the same era. But, again, not to contradict each other or anything like that. My thing is, yes, we do need to educate our youngsters. And that's where our problem is at right now as far as education goes in all shapes and forms.
Yeah.
Secondly, as far as, hitting up whoever you're going to hit up, let's keep it real, though, my boy Marvelous. At the end of the day, bro, you and I both know it really don't matter what you're wearing, man, because if you're going to get hit up or you're going to get jacked or you're going to get robbed, whatever, right? If somebody's going to do something to you, it don't matter what you're wearing. Just like a woman that says, well, what was she wearing? I mean, you're going to get raped if you're going to get raped, at the end of the day. It's just a piece of clothing. Not to say that you're not putting a target, because that's the way I looked at it back in the day, man. As far, like I said, back in the day when we dressed, we were basically putting on a target. In other words, I guess in a way, if you want to put it psychologically, where, we were putting the target on us on purpose, as far as like, look, this is what I represent, this is what I'm about, so that we could kind of take the eyes off of, so to speak, innocent civilians or square homeboys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was and like you said, it was in a way, it was our warrior outfit, because that was the way we represented. Meaning, like, this is where I'm at, this is where I stand. What now, right? But now we're in the 2025s, bro. Those days have gone by. Not to say crime doesn't exist anymore. What I'm saying is people doing all that kind of shit, bro, are dressing up like females. So that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, if we're going to have some kind of dress code, I'd rather it be, the dress code that I used to go by versus whether they earned it or not. I'd rather see that for real, bro, than have motherfuckers wear purses and all kinds of funny shit. You know what I mean? But I get you, man. I do agree with you, man. Education is number one. And my only thing, though, is this. I will say this. Like I said, I got over it a while ago with them mimicking the way we used to dress. But my only problem I still have, bro, and I think you would agree, Marvelous, because we have the same style as far as the pride that we take in our clothing. Yeah. And one thing I would lace the youngsters up, bro, whenever I see them is, look, homie, I have no problem with you dressing like that, but at least have somebody teach you how to iron your clothes. Because you and I both know, bro, even though they're dressing with the same clothing, bands and all, they still don't know how to carry it in the way we carried it, right? Would you agree? The way they fix it, the way they iron it,
1,000% right,
so
bro.
that's my only pet peeve, and I know you would agree with that.
Yeah.
But anyway, I yield to y'all.
Thanks,
have
man.
a blessed night, man.
And you too, bro. My respects your way, homie.
And
Appreciate
thanks
you.
for the conversation, man.
Thank you for your
man.
call, bro. I appreciate you.
All right.
That's a good dude right there.
We really do have dialogue in this show. We really do talk with everyone.
Bro. Yeah, this is their show.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I appreciate that part right there. So while we wait for another caller, we could get into that thing I told you we were going to talk about.
Oh, go for it. That's going to be a minute, so don't even accept the call yet.
Never mind. Let's go with the call.
All right, let's make this the last call then.
All right. Caller, your name and where you calling from?
Down in California. What's up?
Downey, right?
Downey, what's up, man? You're
Yeah,
how you doing tonight, man?
down in California. What they call down in California, though, right?
Downey, California?
What do they call it?
What they call it?
if you guys Google it, they call it the Mexican Beverly Hills.
Oh, yeah.
shit.
No, it's true because they got the mini mansions.
Right.
Yeah, but then the Cubans try to take it down because the Cubans are white boys. President Galachos.
Yeah. Well, then, when
Anyway.
they find a nice place, they want to take it.
Nah, but every neighborhood has all bunch of raza and everything, but Downey represents for everybody.
That does.
So I'm a resident of Downey, California, and I'm just trying to tell the raza out there, there's not. I'm not trying to, no matter what you guys are talking about, I was kind of hearing everything you guys were saying, but hey, everything in this neighborhood, man, come to Downey, California, man, and everybody does. Everybody knows Downey, California, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But look up Google. If you guys can pull up your cell phone, both of you guys. Google Downey, California, Downey High School. Look up the Downey High School student population. Downey High School student population.
What'd you find?
There's almost 4,500 students in one high school. Almost 5,000 students.
Oh, wow. Yeah. 4,000.
That's a gang of students.
4,063 students. Downey High School is highly rated public school located in Downey, California. It has 4,063 students in grades 9 through 12 with a student-teacher ratio of 23-1.
In one school?
Yeah, Downey High School.
In
Downey
one
school.
Damn.
Yeah.
They ain't teaching those kids shit. They're giving them packets.
You think so?
You can't teach that many kids and have all their minds.
You know what? I'm thinking that's probably a good thing because here in high schools they had like fucking 10,000.
Yeah, but imagine,
15,000
and they have tracks. Do they have tracks over there? We had A through D track.
Can I ask you guys a question? Sorry to cut you guys off.
No,
Can I ask you guys a question?
Go for it, bro.
What did we learn in high school? Nada.
That's not true.
Did we learn anything?
What did you learn, NORBEEZ?
I learned auto mechanics.
You did?
Yeah.
Then how come you haven't fixed my car then?
Because
how come I gotta go get my oil change somewhere else then? How come I gotta go to Alex to get my oil change?
I don't have any tools anymore.
Yeah, right.
I learned how to do that stuff. I learned how to do my own.
The only thing I learned was in elementary school, and that was when we were doing scientific.
I can teach you how to do your own.
You can't teach. You're gonna Google it right now, just like you Googled that high school right now.
You know what they say? It's better to teach a man how to fish than
Do you know how to fish?
Huh?
Do you know how to fish?
No, but I know a guy that can teach me.
Why are you talking about it? You're at Taco Bell. You're at Taco Bell. You ain't fishing, homie. You smell like fish.
I know a guy that could teach me how to fish.
Quit it.
Anyway.
Quit it. That was a good Google reference right there.
Oye, vatos.
Yeah.
My only point is this. Like, we talk about raza a lot, right?
Right.
The empowerment of raza. A lot of kids come out of this school, and the reason why this school is, I don't know, what it is, by its numbers, there has to be going on with the school. Look up any other school. Look up Southgate. Look up, as a matter of fact, look up Warren High School. Look up Santa Fe Springs. Look up Cerritos. Look up everything else. Every other school is less.
It is less.
There's almost 10,000 students. But I'm going to tell you this. There's a specific thing why these people want to go to this school. Now, Raza, if you want to listen, look, there's a reason why everybody wants to come to Downey. But everybody needs to fucking learn, man. Like, learn it.
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
Thank you for that knowledge and lesson, bro. That was.
Hey, gracias, guys.
Yeah, man.
What?
No, I disagree.
Oh, all right. Well, why you stay quiet then, man?
I don't know where we're going with this. Caller, thank you. We appreciate you.
Appreciate your call, homie. Thank you, homie.
Yeah, I think you're already clear. All right, so that's the last call for the night.
Dang, I thought you guys were like using some telepathy shit or something, man.
All right, so
Hey, but nobody like what made him Google the population in a high school though?
well, I guess
Like nobody, I don't think I've heard anybody do that before.
I mean,
What's the population in a high school?
I didn't know you could do that. I learned something today. I didn't know you could do that.
Don't be Googling high school's populations.
Shout out to the live chat.
Shout out to the live chat.
I seen you guys roasting me all night, and
NORBEEZ was fucking doing telepathy right now with
homeboy. It's very difficult not to laugh when you guys are doing that.
All right, go. What are we doing? Super chats or what? Because we're gonna talk about that other subject.
Let's do the super chats right now while we're.
All right, super chats, and then we're gonna go to the subject
topic. All right,
the topic.
Let me go back to do.
I'm getting hungry. Hungry.
All right, guys, no more calls. I'm sorry.
Oh shit.
All right, let's start with okay, much love and appreciation to the super chats and also the members. Can't forget about them. All right, Fire 100K, Sun 100K dropped $2, says gang culture was created to genocide our people. Oh.
Well, I don't think it was created because it comes from tribal ways of a mindset. So I don't think it was generated.
94M dropped 199, says get it together, Norbs. Face, hand palm to the face. El Hermano dropped $5. Homie, what do you know about the Shriners Children's Hospital? My daughter got a coloring book with a panda and an owl. Freemason symbols for sure.
Yep, for sure. Can somebody tell me where there's a panda in any jungle? Is there any pandas in any jungle?
I mean,
can somebody tell me?
Does China have jungles? I don't think so, right?
The only place you see a panda is in a zoo. But yeah, masonry is everywhere, and I'm glad he's seen that shit.
Oh yeah,
it's in almost every single hospital, every hospital.
You're right. Okay, so I don't know if you want to hear the audio of that what we're gonna talk about.
Go for it.
Okay,
I mean, if you're gonna put so people can get a good context of what you're talking about.
Okay, let me see if I can pull this up right here. Now this is
Come on, Norbs. They're waiting.
I'm going as fast as I can. Ah, shit. Well, damn.
Oh, is it gonna play on the earphones?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Now, recently, there's a podcaster that has come under fire with the black neighborhood, with the black community, specifically from a podcast called the Viral Way Podcast. They had issues with this podcaster because they didn't appreciate that somebody that is brown or I guess Mexican will be speaking on their culture, which is hip hop.
Don't tell me it's dildo.
I'll let them say it for themselves.
Oh my god!
All right, let me just make sure.
That's the only person I could think that stays in a room all day and night and talks about everybody.
Hey. Mm-hmm. Let's see, I should be able to get this here. Oh, can you guys see that? Probably can see that, right?
I can't see it yet.
Oh, not that one. Let's see.
Come on, Essay.
Oh, I think you guys can see that now, right? I don't want to cover your face, so.
You can cover it. Go ahead and drag it right there.
We could put it right under us. Let's see if we could actually hear it, though. Let's see.
NORBEEZ wants panda eyes. That's fucked up. Damn.
Back at y'all with another one. Shout out to all the Viral Way members. Share, like, subscribe to the channel. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Hey, you shouldn't be playing their thing, though, right?
Well, I don't think they're going to try to give us a thing.
All right, well, go for it.
Not.
Go for it.
Let me make sure.
Give them a shout out.
Shout out to the Viral Way podcast. They are out of Long Beach, California.
What is it called? Viral what?
The Viral Way podcast.
The Viral Way podcast. What is their content about? Rap?
They talk about the black community. About I think they're somewhat Christian in a sense, also.
Oh, all right.
Something like that.
I don't know.
Can you go hear that? You can hear that, right? Can you hear that?
I can hear it. I can hear it. What do you call himself? The Messiah?
Something like that.
All right. Oh my God. They said they can't hear.
Oh, okay. They're saying they can't hear it.
Ask them if they could hear it. Hey, can you guys hear?
We can't hear it.
Can you guys
hear what?
Can you guys hear the audio? Let me know.
All right.
No sound. They're saying no sound.
Let me change that.
No sound.
No sound.
Reach.
All right, so there's
So
a 20-second
far,
leg. So from
and
here
that's where
on,
they
let
cut
me know
off
if you
at.
guys can hear
Basically,
this.
like, we'll let you get a little successful, but we gatekeep the game and stop Hispanics from reaching Jay-Z or Nas or Kendrick levels, which was absurd. So, of course, I jumped out there and stepped for the culture because if anybody's familiar with what goes on in the culture, what happens
We
a
hear
lot of
you,
times,
but not the video audio.
people from our side,
See?
they like to play the middle. They don't like to
They said
be
they can't hear.
too offensive because they don't
Norby's
want to lose
fired.
pieces of their fan base.
Somebody
wait.
say
Me,
he.
I just stand on the facts.
Okay, there
and
you go.
I stand on the truth. So if I lose fans
Just
or
raise
we lose
it, they said.
followers for sticking up for our race or sticking to the facts, so be it. That's not a fan that we really need. So I just watched Hater World's response, and of course, we're gonna break down all the lies and all the BS that he spewed. So first, from the top, let me go ahead and say, shout out to all the Hispanics who reached out to us personally and said they don't fuck with Hater World. And Hater World does not represent the view of Hispanics.
Do you think that's true?
That's a fucking fact. What do you mean? You don't even need to ask me that. That's just one whole fucking dude with all the voices he hears in a little room talking shit about everybody.
They saw through the bullshit. They saw through the fake cry for help, acting like we was being racist, even though they the ones who brought race up in the convo in the first place. So I definitely want to say shout out to all the Hispanics. And to address Hater World, trying to use Long Beach as a crutch to say that we dislike Hispanics because Long Beach and Hispanics, Hispanics in Long Beach and blacks are known to go to war, especially with the gang violence. There's a lot of racial tension with the gang stuff. So people like to use us being from Long Beach to create false narratives that we dislike Hispanics, which is 100% false.
Too far from the truth.
We've actually showcased Hispanics on the show.
Not even just that. And shout out to AD because we did the collab with Capone and don't get me wrong, was it crazy?
Mr. Capone.
Yeah, Mr. Capone. And shout out to them over there. Shout out to AD for that layup also. You know what I'm saying? We don't have no problem with Hispanics. We say this shit all the time. We got problems with people that got problems with us. That's where it ends and that's where it stops. So all these narratives, because we from the city, we from the beach, and we beefing with whatever we choose to deal with out here has nothing to do. I grew up since elementary around Hispanics. Had Hispanic girlfriends. You know what I'm saying? Been around and ate in Hispanic houses. From everything to chorizo to the burritos to
What did he say right
everything
now?
else, nigga.
Chorizo.
He said chorizo.
He said chorizo.
Chorizo.
Don't let me hear you pronouncing it like that, Norbs.
Every time,
All right, go for it.
chorizo.
Lil Vibe.
Nigga, I'll start eating the cucumbers with the hot sauce, nigga, with them.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you this. I lived in Watts for a long time, homie. I had Mexican neighbors, bro. I've been in Mexican households where I went to their house and I seen the shit paper in the wastebasket. That's how close I've been with the Mexicans, bro. So it ain't no funniness, bro. I've been locked in with them since we was yay high, homie.
Yeah, so like I was saying, stop using Long Beach as a crutch that saying that we dislike Mexicans. We showcased a Mexican, one of SVG's finest. We done.
Hey, why do these podcasters like to always bring the entire fucking country with them as their backup?
I don't know who you referencing. And then what's this whole conversation about, though?
Well,
what is it about?
This conversation happened because the guy they're talking about, he was with I guess another black individual, but I guess he might be a Southsider.
Uh-huh.
And they were speaking on how the black community or people in the music industry are gatekeeping Chicanos from being, I guess you would say, uplifted in the industry.
Oh, so they don't get no movement or get no...
Yeah, and Raza doesn't get shine because according to these guys, well, they said that podcaster said that the blacks are the ones that gatekeep our people from rising.
Yeah.
So
You gonna let the rest of it play, or?
Yeah, let me get to the point where
All
they're talking about.
Had her literally on the show as far as the weight factor goes. And I got a lot of flack from my own people, all this black and brown, when it really counts. When the real...
You can have a man that's as black as me sitting there, and they talking about blacks, and he's speaking as if he's not black.
Mention his actual...
Okay, so right there, they're talking about the interview that happened where that podcaster was with the black individual that I guess, like I said, he was a Southsider.
So let's just touch on it because we're going to let that lag out, bro.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know if you know about the music industry. I mean, I know you know a lot of from what you do, bro. You're filming and stuff like that. You know a lot of Chicano rappers and artists and stuff like that. And
you know what? Working with Tony A and talking with so many of the pioneers from back then, you know, I've learned a lot as far as how the black community, the black people in the industry, helped us out a lot in the beginning. Like I would honestly say if it weren't for blacks, there really wouldn't be any Chicanos that got risen. They started a lot of the Chicano rappers from back then. They started their careers as far as producing them, as far as signing them to their labels.
so you're talking about like Eazy-E?
No, I'm talking about like.
Or who are you talking about?
Oh man, I'm horrible with names.
Or Frost?
No, even before Frost. I'm talking about like people like so
let's talk. Let
me just say a name.
All right, go for it.
Murray Brumfield.
Okay.
He started Familia Records, Hoodlum Records. This guy had everybody that you would say we are the pioneers of Chicano rap. This guy had all of them under him. He was a black man, and he signed them. He produced them, and a lot of these Chicano rappers that a lot of people love from back then, this guy was the one that put them in the industry. He's the one that said, we're not gonna go with the Jews. They're not gonna help you guys. The whites aren't gonna help you guys. But I see things in you. I see things in you guys, and I want to produce you, and I want to put you out there because I feel like from what I think, even Tony A interviewed him in one of the Road and Radio episodes. But this man, a black man, you know, he's the one that put anyone that you would consider a legend as far as Chicano rappers. This is the guy that put them all on. A black man.
So at the end of the day, let's look at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Who's making the contracts? Who owns the distribution centers?
The major ones?
Who owns all the major corporations?
That would be the Jews.
Okay, then. And who's the one that says, okay, we're going to let this guy, whether that artist is black or not, and he sees a Mexicano rising to the top, he goes, man, I want to give this this dude a chance.
Yeah.
He has to go above him to get the okay for that, right?
If they're part of that label, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And those are major labels, right?
Yeah, those are major labels.
So who owns those major labels? Not us, not
us.
them.
Nope.
You know, they're owned by other people.
They are.
So now let's fast forward it now, right? We got today's time, and I'm gonna use my cousin as an example,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So now when we get to this point in the we'll just say the 2000s, early 2000s,
Yeah.
where you got the Capones, you got the who's that other dude that was with him from Silver Lake? Criminal, that dude, right? You got the Little Rob came in the 90s.
Yeah.
You know, Conejo stayed underground. You know,
Yeah,
he
was underground.
He did shit like that. I give him credit, man.
They would've
I
signed
gotta
that guy.
give him credit. You know, he reminds me of a Master P that didn't get to have all the money that he should have had.
Well, I mean, because he was
You
from
know?
a genre that they didn't get signed a lot.
Well, he
because
was also
of-
on the run too,
That
so
part.
there's not a lot of
Yeah.
moves he could have made. So whatever. We got to today's time now, right? And who's holding us back? You know, now. Do these so-called blacks own these labels still?
No.
No. I mean, they could say and put you on like, here, homie, or whatever, but depending on that artist or what he owns or what equipment he's using, you know, if he doesn't have enough money to pay that Mexicano or whatever, if he's not even a Mexicano, if he's just a raza, you know, if he doesn't have the money, then he doesn't have the money to pay him.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Or maybe he might be hating on him.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
You know, it's all on the individual, who that individual is,
Yeah,
right?
it is.
But what I've seen, and this is dealing with my primos who should have been there and done that already.
Yeah.
He was held back by our own people.
Mm.
You know, he was held back by our own people.
Yeah.
You got Capone, he grew up in a barrio. He's not raza.
Mm-mm.
He's not.
No.
You know, so you can't even put him in the equation. But let's just put him in the equation because he's a homie, right?
Yeah.
He's from a gang, right? Or whatever. In order to get with him and sign with him, you have to promote all his stuff.
Yeah.
The same thing with Criminal.
Yeah.
That happened with the same thing. You got to go by all and do all their stuff and all that. And you don't even get to have none of your shit.
Mm.
You don't even get to have nothing of yours out
They're
there.
just fucking us over.
And they're just, you know, and one of them is supposed to be raza, you know. Then you got my cousin's situation who got involved with somebody, you know, and he couldn't even do his damn thing. And you had, I'm not even gonna name the rappers who they were in the studio. They're hearing my primo rap.
Yeah.
I'm not just saying it because he's my primo or nothing like that, because he's blood and I got nothing but love for him. I'm saying this because this happened to him. Like, and he's a really good, he can rap.
He can rap.
He can rap.
He can.
You know, he has real talent. And the brothers that were there in the studio said, how come, or does he have a contract? You know, oh, nah, the dude that he was with, I'm not even going to say his name.
Yeah.
The dude that he was with, rapping also, said, oh, nah, we just have a mutual agreement. It's like a handshake thing. Like, nah, he needs to have a contract. He needs to get paid a certain amount of money for these interviews he's doing,
Yeah.
for the shows. Like, he needs to be promoted right if you're going to be calling yourself his manager.
Yeah.
And he's not managing him.
Yeah.
He's using him because he knows the talent.
Yeah.
He knows that if he makes one hit song, he's going to go to the top. And my primo's going to take him right with him.
Yeah.
You know, and that sucks. Then you got other instances that happen, you know, where we're in the studio all day.
Yeah.
All day. The
Yeah.
Dog Pound's in there.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Badass is in there.
Yeah.
You know, it's Frank Nitty's studio,
Yeah.
and they're writing rhymes. But if your verse is better than his verse, he's not going to throw it on there.
Damn.
He's going to make you rewrite it, or he's not even going to throw you on the track. And because he has the dude making beats for him, he's going to gatekeep the shit. And he's raza. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That sucks.
That does suck. That
Then
sucks
you
a
got
lot.
other circumstances where you could be in a room, and this really happened.
Yeah.
This really happened where we're rappers or whatever, and we get some strippers to come and do a music video.
Yeah.
And now there's some hyenas right there. They're getting ready to do the music video, and this dude comes and flaunts his money right there.
Yeah.
His tribal money at that.
Yeah.
From the tribe that he gets from his tribe.
Yeah.
And says, here, I know you guys don't got no money here. Why would you do that?
What a fucking dick move.
Why would you do that?
What a dick move.
Like, you don't put your own people down like that.
No.
You know what I mean? And that's what happens, you know? We're so used to not having nothing that when we get something, we harness it.
That's like a psychological thing,
yeah,
right?
And it is a psychological. They need help. They need to be spoken to, you know? There was music videos that we went to. One music video.
Yeah.
And I could have swore this dude was talking to his kid.
Yeah.
You know, we're right there. Hey, youngster, you know, we need some more gangster foods in the back. Can you want to be in the background or whatever? Like, feed man, yeah, get all dressed up, go to this shoot downtown. We're gonna film and on this fucking high rise, this parking complex, and all this and that. And this dude's on the phone. He needed a shirt.
Yeah.
He needed a pro club. He wanted a pro club shirt, a 4X or some shit.
Yeah.
You know, and he's right there yelling at and this and that, and hurry up and all this and that, like. And I thought it was his kid.
Yeah.
You know? And a grown man shows up. One of the team members, another rapper.
Yeah.
And damn, homie, he's talking to you like that? And then he gets mad because he brought the wrong size.
Jeez.
Like, dirty, like, woo, woo, woo.
Yeah.
And like, damn, fool, you're letting that fool talk to you like that? Like, come on, fool. Like, no backbone.
None.
But it's like, it sucks. Like, not only the other vato not have any backbone.
Yeah.
But it's like, dang, homie. Like, you shouldn't even be talking to your team like that.
No,
you shouldn't be treating your team like that. They're all raza right there. You got the camera dudes. You got the hyenas that are raza right there.
Yeah.
You got my primo and all the other rappers that are going to be in the video. And then you got gang members.
Yeah.
And this fool's acting like the president. Throwing orders. Bam, you do this and you do that and you do this and treating everybody like kids and yelling. Emotional.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And these people, like, they already have this mindset that you know, it's I don't even know how to say it, bro. It's ugly.
Yeah,
you know. But I don't think that there's no gatekeepers like that. You know, that are just gatekeeping the shit unless they're a real spoiler. And then you can't talk down on a whole ethnicity.
Yeah.
Of people and say that they're all like that.
Yeah.
And then the other dumb dude. He can't say, oh, they're attacking us like the other pendejo podcaster that did that shit with Tyga.
Yeah.
And that situation.
Yeah.
And then show up to No Jumper with all kinds of fucking dudes.
Yeah.
You can't be doing that.
No.
They're attacking you. Your ignorant mouth is getting you in trouble like it got you in trouble again and again.
Yep.
And the other one got you in trouble again and again. And it's going to keep on getting you in trouble until somebody finally shuts it.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
And they're the poison. Those are the weeds in this rose bush.
Yeah.
Those are the weeds that are trying to strangle the beautiful roses that are trying to blossom, homie.
Yeah. Yeah. No, your facts.
That sucks.
Yeah, it does suck. So so that was the issue right there that you know, for that podcaster to just put out that the whole black industry is purposely gatekeeping, you know, raza.
And we support, if you want to call it black hip hop, whatever you vatos want to call it, from Long Beach, that podcast that's on there, that's firme. We support you. We know that brothers support us too. We show each other nothing but love.
Yep.
You know, there ain't no division. So don't let one man from either team spoil it for the unity that could be had. Don't let one fucking ignorant weed pull that shit out. You know what I mean?
And
but they don't speak for everybody, homie.
No, you're right. And this is why I'm always so happy, because for a while now, our people, our raza, they're going into these videos. They're going into the comment section. They're telling them, like they're telling these podcasters that felt that way. They're telling them, look, that guy doesn't represent us. We fuck with you. We appreciate it. We're not like that. And it sucks that we had that clowns like that, you know, make all of us look bad by trying to include us in their argument or their opinions or what they see as facts. But our people, and it sucks, but I'm very proud of our people that we go into these comment sections and we tell them, no, we don't fuck with that guy. That fool's a fucking idiot. He doesn't talk for us.
But people need to have common sense too, bro. People need to have common sense, and just because somebody has a YouTube channel or whatever, they're not the voice of everybody. I'm not the voice of all my people. No. I'm not. No. I'm just one ant out this colony that just happened to make a podcast and happens to make a name for himself. Yeah. You can do it too. Yeah. You can do it too. Yeah. Anybody can do it, right? Oh, yeah. Just go in it with a clear mindset, have a compassionate spirit, and speak truth, honesty. You know, and if anybody calls you out or whatever, hey, go full force, homies. 10 toes down.
That's right.
You know,
guys, I'm sorry we're not taking calls anymore. You guys can stop calling.
Yeah, my bad, my apologies. But hey, it's getting late. I'm hungry.
It is.
So you got any last thoughts?
You know, today was a great show. I appreciate the live chat, the super chatters, and the members. Thank you, live chat, for roasting the shit out of me. You're making it hard to work and not laugh at the same time. I'm trying to take Marvelous serious, but you guys are throwing these.
He never takes me serious.
But as far as that, you know, I'm glad we talked about, you know, etiquette, dress codes, and, you know, we like you said, you know, we got to teach our kids the background, the backstory. We got to educate them, because we got to stop counting on society to teach our kids. We got to take it upon ourselves to teach them, because the world is teaching them something else that we definitely don't agree with. And you guys already know the right way to teach them. There is no right or wrong. You just got to be able to communicate with them.
Yeah.
And tell them, you know, how you see the world, because how you see the world is what you want them to see the world. Mm-hmm. You know, you're there to protect them. You're there to make sure that when you're not there anymore, they'll be able to navigate through all this shit show.
Yeah.
So aside from that, thank you to the callers also, and much love and appreciate all you. Shout out to the Viral Way podcast for speaking up also, and also acknowledging that we reached out to them and told them, you know, we fuck with you guys, and there is no hatred. There is no nothing against each other. We are working together. That's it. Thank you.
All right. Hey, I appreciate you guys' time. Thank you for you know, joining me tonight on this evening. And I'll leave you guys with this. You know, for anybody that's from a barrio, that did their thing, whatever. You guys, your family's your real gang, your familia, your kids, you know, and just like you had meetings in your barrio, and you guys were taught certain things in the neighborhood, whether it be good or bad or both. Do that with your family, do that with your kids, do that with your primos and primas, and call it pretend it's a birthday party, you know, and you know, make food, make an asada. But at the end of that asada, a good time, or before you guys start cooking, or whatever you're gonna do, you guys talk about all this stuff. You guys talk about morals. You guys talk about etiquette. You guys school the youngsters, school your little primas and primos, and teach them, you know, where certain things come from, whether it be cultura, whether it be cooking, whether it be how you dress, anything. You guys have a real gang meeting. That'll be your gang meeting. You know, you guys really teach each other something, you know, and then ask them their opinion after that. You know, get their side. Let them have a voice too. You know, let them participate, and don't be always trying to scold everybody. You know, ask them, what do you think about that? What do you think about how I was raised? Or what do you think about how when we used to dress like this, we had to go put in? What do you think about that? Oh, well, you know, Theo, you know, times have changed and this and that, whoop-de-whoop. Teach them the consequences that come along with dressing like that. You know, teach them everything and anything. You know, that's all I gotta say. I appreciate you guys' super chats. Appreciate the time. I appreciate all the comments, the loves, the support, and just that you rock with me, because I rock with you. Gracias.